People have lots of opinions about how to avoid taxes. Most of them are wrong. A lot of them are tax fraud. Don't put yourself in that basket. A while back, I produced a bunch of videos about dumb ideas, and so over the last couple of months I've been to several boat shows and met with several aircraft clients, and I have this list that I created of, they're not dumb ideas, they're wrong ideas, and they're ones that are going to get you in trouble. Number one thing that comes up in the vessel market is the whole issue of LLC ownership, and I've produced a separate video about that, and if you want to know about it, just call and ask us and we'll send it to you. The thing that surprises me is that a lot of people in the vessel industry think that if you register it in the Coast Guard, it's not subject to tax. Not true. The the state of California, excuse me for saying Board of Equalization, they've changed the name to the CDTFA, which stands for the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration. They go into that registration list periodically, and they're going to reach out to you. The other thing was on a vessel that someone bought that was the seller had it and it was inside of California, and I asked the guy, where did you take possession for it? And he said to me, I think it was offshore, 3 miles. You better know, because you have to be able to prove it if you want to support a claim for an exemption. I have a lot of people that ask me, whether it's aircraft or vessels again, how are they going to prove where I was with my boat or my vessel? What you need to understand is, by California law, every transaction on the planet is subject to an assessment by the state of California if that property enters the state of California at any time within the first 12 months. So it's up to you, the buyer of this airplane or vessel, to support with documentation where it was located and how it was used if you really don't want to pay the tax. It's not up to them. It's kind of like your IRS. You have all these receipts for everything. You show how much income you took in, and you show what your expenses are. And it's up to you to keep those records. This isn't any different. I heard this one a lot. Yeah, I kept it out of state. Go back to what I just said. You have to support with documentation where it was. There's 2 parts to every transaction, the form and the substance. The substance is what you actually know occurred because it's all in your mind. That's irrelevant. If you don't have documents, if you don't have pieces of paper that support what you really did with it, and if you aren't careful about all the language that's in those documents, you're going to wind up paying the tax. There actually are some people who are in the vessel industry who think that the 90-day exemption still applies to them. It doesn't. It only applies to tangible personal property like horses and artwork and things like that. There's a much more stringent exemption for a California resident who owns an aircraft or a vessel. If you don't want to do business documentation, if you're only going to use it personally, you have to take possession of it outside the state of California, and you have to be able to document and support that it remained outside the state of California for 12 months. And then this one comes up on airplanes all the time. I paid $1 on the bill of sale. So what? What you don't realize is that what you write on the FAA registration is not something that establishes the price. You have to support what you really paid for it. And if you decide that you're going to tell them that you only paid $100 for this airplane, and they go look at your insurance, and why are they going to look at your insurance? Because they're going to ask you for it, and if you refuse to get it, they're going to make it taxable, so you're going to have to show it to them. Or they're going to ask you for your finance paperwork. So if you've got anything that shows that this $100,000 airplane is what you bought, then that's what they're going to tax you on. So it's not up to you to create phony pieces of paper and just wish that things become tax exempt. It is your job to establish with properly filled out, properly quality controlled, which is what our company does. We quality control everything. And you have to do that, and you have to understand how serious this is. That's this month's version of Don't Do This.